After some use, you may notice that your landers don't operate quite as smoothly as they once did. They even may feel a little bit gritty. This is often because salt or dirt has begun to build up in the mechanism, and the pliers will need to be broken down, cleaned, re-greased, and reassembled. It's a fairly straightforward process. What you'll need is a flathead screwdriver, a pick, some lubricant. This is real fishing reel grease. You can use any kind of machine grease, or even Vaseline works fine. A toothbrush and some fresh water. To disassemble the pliers, you simply flip them over and find one screw, flathead screw, in the back. You back this screw out, and once it's come out of the center of the pliers, you set the screw aside. Work the pliers back and forth a little bit, and they'll pop apart. You'll be left with two halves and a spring. The process of cleaning them is relatively simple. Take the toothbrush, brush around inside this hole, getting as much dirt and salt buildup as you can out of that center hole. Then for the side with the bushing, repeat this same process. Just a quick scrubbing until it's clean. You want to go ahead and scrub this side of this bushing. Now, it doesn't come out. It's pressed in place and there's no need to remove it for cleaning. You can also hit the spring real quick with the toothbrush just to get any residue off of it. Take another paper towel and just dab the pliers clean. Dab them dry. Simple as that. Make sure the spring's dry. Now, you can set the water aside, and it's time to lubricate. There's the side with the bushing and the side without the bushing. Put a bead of grease in the spring race on the side without the bushing. Side with the bushing, put just a couple little dabs of grease around the actual bushing. Then you take the spring and you notice there's two protrusions on the spring. Set it on the side with the bushing into its key slot. Those protrusions are little keys in there. It's important to put this on the side with the bushing. I'll show you why here in a second. As you set this side down, there's another keyway for the spring inside here. You pinch them on one another, and you'll notice right here that you can see the tip of the spring. This is where you need the pick. You need to push this piece of the spring down into the keyhole. To do this, you want the pliers all the way open. And you take the spring and you press it until you hear a click and squeeze the pliers together. It's just that simple and they'll come together. Once this is done, they'll hold together fairly well on their own. You can set the screw back in the hole and begin to tighten it. Now, as you tighten this screw down, the best way to get the pliers back together entirely is to tighten it all the way down until it's relatively firmly hand tight. This ensures that the frame of the pliers is set back into place. When it's tight like this, they won't open back up on their own. Give them a squeeze, check, make sure your jaws are in alignment and your cutters are in alignment. Then, once you're satisfied with it, go ahead and back the screw off about 1/8 of a turn. And the pliers will open on their own. And they'll operate smooth and free as new. Check out our other videos on YouTube